How's it going, everybody? We're back. That's right, we are back. And today we're going to be talking about Iron Lung. I saw it over the weekend. I'm sorry it's taking me a couple of days to get to it, but I haven't been feeling too terribly well. So, Iron Lung, Markiplier's feature debut. And I have a bunch of feelings about it. Um, First, let me get off with the positives. I think Mark has a great presence on screen. I think he was very good in this movie for what's essentially a one person movie. You know, he's a one character movie. I thought he was very good, and I thought he did a good job. But you know, I mean, he's a talented guy. If you've seen any of his other YouTube videos, like In Space with Markiplier, or there was a Thief one with Markiplier, which was really good, and A Date with Markiplier, which was really good. So he's done, you know, I mean, like he's played characters before that are with some range, and I think he did a good job here. Obviously, this is much darker than anything he's done before in the past. Um, but yeah, I thought Mark did a good job. I thought he was really good in it. Um, I thought the movie looked very impressive for the budget, and I think there was some good cinematography, even though we're essentially just trapped in this iron lung, this iron tube in the submarine. I thought it looked really good, and it really added to the desperation that Mark's character was in throughout the entire movie. Um, but that's pretty much where my positives end. It was really long. It was really, really long with not a lot happening. I think it's an hour and or 2 hours and 7 minutes, or 2 hours and 2 minutes. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's over 2 hours, and Lord have mercy, I could feel it by the end of the movie. It was just really, I don't know. It just seemed around the hour mark. I was started checking my watch and seeing what time it was, because I don't pull my phone out in the middle of the movies, obviously. So I have my little smartphone. Um, and it just really dragged. I really feel like this movie could have been an hour and 30 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes, and it would have hit a lot harder. The punch would have been harder. Um, and I think it would have been just a better movie in general. But who am I to say? I mean, the movie made a bunch of money, so people obviously liked it. Um, I will say that there wasn't a lot to watch. You're essentially just watching this guy put out fires and scan things, and so I mean, like it ties back to it just being too long of a film. Not that, not that I was miserable at any point in the movie. I wasn't miserable, but I was like, okay, let's move it along here, because after a certain point, I kind of knew, okay, there's no one else in this movie. We're just stuck in this because I don't know the game. This is one of the rare Markiplier videos, Let's Plays, that I didn't watch. I didn't watch Iron Lung, so I knew nothing about it other than Mark made it with his own money, and that's something we'll get into in a second. But I really I have pros and cons of this movie, and I think before I go on to my next topic, I think I'm going to give this 3 out of 5 Robert Englands, because we grade things here on the Robert England scale of excellence, and I think that's fair. I don't think it was fantastic. I don't think it was terrible. I do think it was way too long, which is a downside. But Markiplier's character and the acting and the cinematography were enough to just push me through. Um, so yeah, that's where we're at there. 3 out of 5 Robert Englands. But I would like to talk about something he said, and this is going to sound kind of petty and a little bad. You know, before I go on, I am a huge Markiplier fan. At one point, I was going to get a Markiplier tattoo. I just didn't have the room for it because I'm covered in tattoos. I love Markiplier. I love Marky Moo. I watch most of his Let's Plays. I watch most of his streams. I'm a big, big, big fan. But in one of his streams, he was like, "This is a test to show how good or that independent filmmaking can still contend with big movies." And yes, to a degree, it is saying that low budget independent films have a place in cinema. Absolutely, without a doubt. Without a doubt. There's been some great low budget movies that I've seen, and I'm like, man, this would have been awesome on the screen. But not every filmmaker has a subscriber base of 35 million people. Markiplier has a dump truck full of money that me and you and Alex will never have, and especially Alex, that poor bastard. I saw him sleeping. Yeah, don't worry, don't. Alex is in poor, dire straits. So he'll have more money than me, you, and Alex combined for the rest of our lives. So of course he can go out and fund his own movie and make it and put it on the big screen because he's Markiplier, because he has 34 million subscribers, because he's got more money than God right now. He doesn't have Pooge money, but he has Markiplier money, which is maybe better than Pooge money. So yes, it does say, hey, independent films have a place in cinema, but it also says you still need to have the money. Because I know I'm on Facebook. I'm friends with a bunch of filmmakers, independent, low budget filmmakers who make movies that will just go straight to Amazon, if that. Maybe straight to DVD, maybe Amazon if they're lucky. Maybe they'll just make the movie and it sit on a hard drive somewhere because they can't afford to get distribution rights. And I think, you know, those people are real independent, low budget directors and actors and stuff because their movie's probably not going to get seen. Whereas Markiplier has all this stuff built into Markiplier. And Mark can just fund the movie on his own. I mean, think about it. Of all the people you know, of all the people you know, and I'll go back to all the directors and producers that I know. How many of them can rustle up, like, what is it? Was it $1.9 million to make this movie or something? Because it made like 9 times its budget or whatever it was. I mean, you can't. Not you just can't do it. Now, if you're Markiplier, you can do it, and I'm sure it sounds a little bitter, and it's not meant to be bitter. It's just meant to be like, this isn't some giant win for independent, low budget cinema. It's a win, but it's not like it's not this big win. It's not going to change the game because, let's be realistic. What's probably going to happen next is Mark is going to get offers for other movies since his movie was number one in the box office at least one day, maybe two. I think it was 2 days, and he'll get some offers and he'll probably work with a studio. I would like to see Mark work with a studio, make a big budget movie, another horror movie, not based on some obscure game that 11 people have ever played. But I'd like to see Mark with a budget, with a full backing of a studio, and I'd like to see what he would do. And I mean, that's kind of always the hope when you're an independent filmmaker, is that you can make a movie, get some attention, and springboard it to future endeavors. And maybe that's not what Mark's planning. Maybe he's got something else up his sleeve. I don't know. I'm not Markiplier. I'm just saying that Mark is gifted in more ways than one. And he's gifted with subscribers and a lot of money. And I know a lot of people struggling right now to make their passion projects, to make their dreams come true. Now, that, like I said, that said, I liked the movie just fine. I thought it was okay. A 3 out of 5 Robert Englands. I really would like to see Mark do something else with a bigger budget. I think he's got a vision. And, let me just say this too. It's refreshing to see somebody with a full vision and the passion to put. I mean, that's really commendable. He's like, I like this game. I really want to make it a movie. I'm going to do everything I can. No one else will finance it, so I'm going to finance it myself. And maybe I'm sending mixed signals. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's inspiring. That's amazing. But, let's look at it from the lens of 35 million subscribers and a guy with a lot of money already. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I like it just fine. I'm curious what Mark does with in future films. I'm sure he's got something up his sleeve. He's always got a goal or a dream or a project in mind, and I feel like he's got something else in store for us. So yeah, go see the Iron Lung, or when it comes out on streaming, watch it. I think it's worth watching on the big screen, especially if you're a Markiplier fan and you're on the fence. I would say go see it, support the man. If it's still playing, I'm sure it's playing somewhere. And yeah, that's it. So that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Review on a side tangent. And just remember, it is not the end of the world. Nope. It is just the end of the day. Peace out.